Hello, Mr. Quarter. This is my game development jobs with ChatGPT assignment. So I started out with the question I was asked to start with: what are the 10 most common jobs in the video game industry? And I got these 10: game designer, gameplay programmer, 3D artist, character artist, concept artist, animator, sound designer, composer, QA tester, and producer. And also, ChatGPT gave me some other common game design roles. None of these I was interested in really, except maybe narrative design is probably something I'd be interested in. Um, and this ChatGPT knows me, so that's why it's giving me recommendations here. Uh, so then I followed up with the second question that we were asked to give the AI. What are the 10 highest paying jobs in the video game industry? And got technical director, lead engine programmer, game director, creative director, AI programmer, and these other few here. These few big patterns you should notice. So it was just explaining to me that the highest paying roles in the video game industry are technical or leadership based. So, you know, leadership, the lead engine programmer, the technical director. Most of these roles where you're a director or lead pay the most, which is kind of a given. I kind of figured that. I just didn't know there were so many, so many leading positions, and I didn't know they paid so much. This was actually a shock to me to find out that they paid that much money. Um, I know it was I kind of had an idea it was six figures, but 220K, like topping out at 220K, not even topping out, it's more than that. So that really surprised me. I'm gonna be honest. Um, so as I moved forward, I wanted to know what were, some requirements to become a game designer because that was one of the jobs up here. That was one of the jobs, one of the common jobs. So designing the systems and the mechanics. So I wanted to know what were the requirements and what kind of degrees, qualifications, experience would you need to get into this field, you know. And I found out it's less about degrees and more about skills, proof, and portfolios. Portfolios. I didn't know portfolios were so big. Like I had an idea they would be, but I didn't know portfolios were so important, in the video game world, So experience trumps education in this field is a big takeaway for me when it comes to, the world of video game development. And also another thing that surprised me, I don't know how true this is, because I know AI can be kind of, finicky when it comes to information, but psychology, a common degree in game development, as for a game designer, is a psychology degree. It makes sense because you have to understand, uh, people, and people's motivations, people's actions, why they do the things they do, why they don't do things. So it makes sense. Creative writing didn't surprise me. Digital media didn't surprise me. Computer science, and of course, game design didn't surprise me. But psychology, it kind of shocked me. But it makes sense. And I understand why you need a portfolio. Experience. And I took it a little further as well. Oh yeah, I did ask about psychology, a psychology degree, and of course, understanding player motivations, really just understanding people, because art imitates life, video games imitate life. People have feelings and emotions in the real world, just like you have to portray in a video game world. So it makes sense. It makes sense. And the experience systems trigger dopamine. Uh, yeah, that too, that too. Player engagement. Now this makes sense to me as well. Um, of course, character narrative design, systems design, and behavioral loops. Something that I had never really looked into before. And of course, ethics. I didn't think about ethical part of things either. But I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that. And I also wanted to know about the technical director. So, I asked again, because I figure if you're going to be a person in a leadership position, you have to have some type of, well, no, you don't have to, but it's more than likely you're probably going to have some type of degree is what I thought, is what I was thinking. And again, it's a common, but it's not mandatory to have education. Um, is honestly uh experience based, having knowledge in certain things like C++ and things like that, being able to solve problems, things like that. And it just it really surprised me, like, just because I've taken a lot of time to like look at degrees and things like that, and it's really an experience based field. It's really experience based. You can have a lot of degrees but no experience. So it makes sense to me. And I went down a rabbit hole here. I wanted to know the hierarchy of video game companies, and it gave me these things. So I don't want this video to be too long, but excuse me. I just wanted to, give an idea of some of the things that ChatGPT and I talked about, some of the things I took away from it. And yes, so thank you for watching.